Alright, what is up you guys? I'm here with the Smackdown pay-per-view DVD collection. This is part 1 of 2 for these. I'm going to do part 2, which is going to be the second brand split. As for this is 2002 to 2007, which was the first brand split. So, let's get right into this. First we had Rebellion. This was kind of like Insurrection for Raw. Like it was a taste of what was to come when it comes to Smackdown pay-per-views. But the main event was Brock Lesnar versus Edge in a handicap WWE Championship match. Of course, Brock had Paul Heyman with him. Show the inside of that real quick. Pretty cool. You get like a Shop Zone pamphlet here. But the first official SmackDown pay-per-view was Vengeance 2003. Of course, we had Undertaker versus John Cena. And then we had a triple threat match for the WWE Championship. Brock Lesnar, Big Show, and Kurt Angle. We also had Zach Gowen versus Mr. McMahon, which was just ridiculous. But, you know, this was 2003, so this, you know, kicking off the brand split pay-per-views. Next up we have, I'll let this fall, there we go. No Mercy 2003. You have Brock Lesnar on the cover there. I always really like this cover. And then you have the Smackdown logo, Smackdown Presents, and your 2003 spine. But this had Kurt Angle and John Cena. It also had Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar in the first ever biker chain match for the WWE Championship. Really cool disc artwork there too. You also get the home video release poster, which is really cool to have. Next we have No Way Out 2004. This was your Eddie Guerrero poster cover, really cool. And of course the main event was Brock Lesnar versus Eddie Guerrero for the WWE Championship. I hate these tabs. And you have the insert and the artwork on the inside there. Great pay-per-view, especially the main event. Next up, Judgment Day 2004. You have the SmackDown logo again. A lot of the early ones had the SmackDown logo, but not on the spine, like Raw did a lot of the times. But this, of course, was known for the infamous Eddie Guerrero blade job, and you had the main event of Eddie Guerrero versus JBL. So, overall, you know, I thought this was a decent pay-per-view, kind of a one-match show, honestly. And it's really only known for the blade job, honestly. So, next up we have the Great American Bash 2004. There's also the Walmart cover, which I don't have. But, you know, this is a colossal failure of a pay-per-view. You had the main event, the Concrete Crypt match, Undertaker versus the Dudley Boys. Which, of course, Paul Heyman, I guess he died, kayfabe. I don't know. I mean, he obviously came back eventually, but at the time, you bury somebody in cement, obviously they're not going to live. Next, we have No Mercy 2004. You have JBL on the cover there. I always really like this cover as well. And we have JBL versus The Undertaker, last ride match for the WWE Championship as your main event. You have Big Show and Kurt Angle, and Eddie Guerrero versus Luther Reigns. That's a pay-per-view match for you. And thank you to the asshole who highlighted all the winners on the insert. Whoever I ordered this from on eBay, I don't remember. Next up, we have Armageddon 2004. You know, this is kind of, you know, another not-so-great pay-per-view. But, you know, I was always the SmackDown guy. You know, I know SmackDown was always seen as the B show, but you know, I loved SmackDown back then. And the main event here was the Fatal 4-Way WWE Championship match. JBL, Undertaker, Eddie Guerrero, and Booker T. You know, they may not have had the best pay-per-views, but it's still, they had a great roster. You had the SmackDown 6, you know, love it. Here we have No Way Out 2005. We have the cover shot there, the action shot as I call it. And we have the barbed wire No Way Out instead of the chains. I do like the logo, that's pretty cool, creative. And your main event was JBL versus Big Show in the first ever barbed wire steel cage match. And you have your insert and disc artwork. Still no Smackdown on the spine. Next we have Judgment Day 2005. This was also known for another deep blade job. John Cena versus JBL in the I Quit match. And that was actually a really good main event. I really enjoyed that one. And you also had Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio after their WrestleMania 21 match. Next we have the Great American Bash 2005. You know, Great American Bash was never really the best pay-per-view in WWE. Obviously, WWE adopted Great American Bash, but you know, these Great American Bash pay-per-views really never did it for me. You have Batista versus JBL for the World Heavyweight title, Orlando Jordan and Chris Benoit for the US title, and nothing much to really write home about. Next up, we have No Mercy 2005. Awesome cover. Just one of my favorite covers. And you had a great main event in Eddie Guerrero's final pay-per-view versus Batista for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then you had the handicap casket match, Undertaker versus Randy Orton and Cowboy Bob Orton. Show you the artwork there. Really, really nice. And overall, I love that main event. Armageddon 2005. We had the Hell in a Cell match with Randy Orton and The Undertaker. Kind of a good Hell in a Cell match. You know, it's not like the best, but it's decent enough. You also had the WWE Tag Team Champions versus the World Tag Team Champions, which is interesting. And we do get the Smackdown logo on the insert, and we also get it on the spine, so pretty cool. Next up, one of my favorite matches, Kurt Angle versus The Undertaker at No Way Out 2006. This was a phenomenal match, phenomenal cover here, and you also had Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton. And there you go, Smackdown Present. It's stuff like that I don't understand how it gets through the press like that, you know? Like, somebody has to inspect this before it gets released, right? So, Smackdown Present, No Way Out, 2006. But, does it say it on here? It says Presents there. So, whatever. Next, we have Judgment Day, 2006. I always really like this cover. And you had the main event, which was Rey Mysterio and JBL for the World Heavyweight title. We had Undertaker versus Great Khali. And then we had Bobby Lashley and Booker T in the King of the Ring final. So, you had the noose. Really cool insert there. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's your average SmackDown pay-per-view. And I did not pay $3.99. I paid more than that, which is just shitty. But Great American Bash 2006, we had Rey Mysterio and King Booker. You had the Punjabi prison match, Undertaker and Big Show. Batista and Mr. Kennedy. Gregory Helms and Matt Hardy. A little return to North Carolina formula there for you. But you have everything there. The Marine. Next we have No Mercy 2006. You have your Fatal 4-Way right there. Really cool logo. There's your spine. We had the Fatal 4-Way match for the World Heavyweight Championship. King Booker versus Bobby Lashley versus Batista versus Finlay. You also had Mr. Kennedy versus The Undertaker. Really cool stuff. Kind of, like I said, kind of, again, your average SmackDown pay-per-view. Armageddon 2006. I love this pay-per-view. I really do. You have kind of a so-so cover there. But you have the Inferno match with MVP and Kane. Last Ride, Undertaker versus Mr. Kennedy. And your Fatal 4-Way ladder match for the tag team titles. That's great. And your World Heavyweight Champion Batista teaming with WWE Champion John Cena versus King Booker and Finlay. Kind of a strange interpromotional match there. And you actually get the first Inferno match as a special feature. So that's pretty cool. And finally, we have No Way Out 2007. This was, it says it's Blockbuster, but it's actually not for some reason. I got it like this on eBay. But you have your main event of Batista and The Undertaker versus John Cena and Shawn Michaels. And really nothing much to write home about for this pay-per-view. Kind of just your average build-up to WrestleMania. But that is your first brand split for Smackdown pay-per-views. All of that right there. So let me know what you guys thought, and I'll do part 2 for the second brand split very soon. So for now, this has been the DVD Freak. Peace out.